What's up, guys? This is Cory. Welcome to CNA Films and Animation. So before I get into today's review, I wanted to ask you guys a quick question. So October's coming up. It is currently July. October is coming soon, and for the month of October, I am planning to review 31 horror movies. Now, I currently have 11 films that I have set in stone that I am definitely going to be reviewing during that month. So that leaves 20 extra films that, I'm going to let you guys decide what I review. I'm wanting to, see what you guys want me to review, especially for October, because, Halloween's my favorite holiday, and I want to provide, quality reviews for you guys that, happen to like horror movies and want to hear my opinion. So let me give the real quick rundown of all the movies that I'm going to be reviewing that are set in stone. The films include The Omen, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Fright Night, Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Trick or Treat, Hocus Pocus, Night of the Living Dead, Alvin and the Chipmunks Meet the Wolfman, and The Cabin in the Woods. The reason why I have these movies set in stone is because, these are movies that are going to be special. And I'm not going to tell you what they are, what's going to be special about them, but, I just want to let you guys know those are movies that I am definitely reviewing, and then, go ahead and list 20 others that you want to, me to see us review. So just leave your suggestions down in the comments, and, I'm excited to see what your suggestions are. So today's review is another Best Picture nominated movie, this one from 1937. This was a French film titled La Grande Illusion. So La Grande Illusion starred Jean Gabin, Erich von Stroheim, and Marcel Dario. So the film follows a group of French prisoners in a German prisoner of war camp in World War I, who, they have many escape attempts during their stay at this prison camp, and so they are shipped to this high facility prison where Erich von Stroheim is the, warden, and, this place is like a fortress. Nobody can escape. It is, just completely impossible, and so, it's the story of them trying to escape from this high facility prison. Whether they are successful or not is for you to find out if you choose to watch this film. The film was nominated for 1 Oscar, and that was for Best Picture, and this film is a very special film because this was the first foreign film to be nominated for Best Picture. The country of origin was France, and so the entire movie is, spoken in either German or French. There's a little bit of English here and there, but, it's predominantly French. And, it's a black and white film. It came out in 1937, and it's a relatively, I won't say rare film, but it's definitely a film of many firsts. What do I mean by that? Well, as I just mentioned, it was the first foreign film to be nominated for Best Picture, but it was also the first film to get a Criterion Collection. This was basically the film that started the Criterion Collection. For many years, this film was considered to be lost. When they made the film, they released it, and then in the 40s, during World War II, they sent the negative of the film to Germany, I think, and from there on it was considered lost. And there's some copies here and there of the film, but nobody knew where the original negative was. So Eventually, I think it was like in the 60s, they found the negative, but they didn't realize what they had until like 30 years later in the 90s. In the 90s, they realized that this was the original negative of the film. And, from there they brought out the Criterion Collection, and, it's reached a wider audience. This film is also pretty famous because this film was one that was anti-war. It definitely has very strong anti-war messages throughout the film. There's no scenes of combat in any moment in this film, and there's a lot of strong overtones throughout that make this a anti-war film, and especially coming from the 30s. I'll tell you what, guys, I actually quite enjoyed this film. I will admit that it took me a while to really figure out what was going on. It was rather difficult for me to switch languages the way that they did. Sometimes they'd speak French and then German, and then they would speak a little bit of English. And it kind of messed with my head a little bit, I'll be honest. Switching from, French or German to English was like, whoa, wait, what did they just say? But, overall, this was a very intriguing film, and actually a rather fun experience. This film has been credited as one of Woody Allen's favorite movies of all time, as well as Christopher Plummer. Christopher Plummer even mentioned that this was one of the few films that really moved him. And, I think that's a really cool thing. This really is a fantastic film. It is very well acted, especially from Jean Gabin and Erich von Stroheim. And, it really is just a very memorable experience. This was considered to be one of the first escape movies, prison escape movies, and it's honestly a masterpiece. This was one of the best prison escape movies I've seen. Shawshank Redemption I think is really good, but this one impressed me, and that's rather surprising because I thought I'd seen every prison escape movie, but no, this one had a lot of character, had a lot of depth. It was just a very intriguing story overall, and I really enjoyed this film. But honestly, guys, I do recommend that you check it out because this is, one of those films that it pretty much made a genre, and it sparked, just kind of like a snowball of all sorts of other things that, still go into effect today. And I'm referring to foreign films being nominated, as well as, the Criterion films. But I'm also talking about some other things throughout that are, kind of themes throughout this movie. And, it's a very thrilling experience. I was very moved by this movie. I thought it was very well executed. And, granted, it did take me a little while to get into it, but I don't really look down on it for that. Just because, like, the first half hour or so is, I won't say unimportant, but it took a while to get there. But yeah, I highly recommend that you check it out. I really enjoyed this movie, and, it's definitely a classic. I'm going to give this movie a 9.4 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It definitely surprised me. I wasn't really sure what I was going to think of it, but, this was definitely a fantastic movie-going experience. So, tell me, guys, have you seen Le Grande Illusion? If you have, what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What'd you think of the characters? What'd you think of the writing? What'd you think of the ending? Comment below, let me know. I'd love to hear your feedback. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And as always, I am Cory, and I will see you guys in the next one.